So these are the first few ingredients we're going to need for the start of this recipe. The first thing we're going to do is prepare our nuts. I'm sure you'll all agree, it's really important to make sure your nuts are presentable So basically, I've just thrown nuts everywhere. That's not supposed to happen. Cut! So I didn't put quite enough in. Don't be too tight with your nuts. Make sure you get plenty of maple syrup and give them a good wiggling about in the bowl to make sure that they're fully coated. And don't worry if you lose the odd one like that, it's not going to be a big deal. So now we're just going to spread them out evenly on our slither of parchment paper. I do it like this because it just saves on waste, no other reason really. And those little pools of maple syrup that have fallen through the gaps there, that's also not going to be a problem, because while they're in the air fryer, and you don't need an air fryer, you can use an oven, while they're in the air fryer those are going to go crispy as well. So we've just given the nuts a dusting with sea salt, and I'm going to put these in the air fryer on 190. Just keep an eye on them until they're golden brown. So this is a handful, and I'm throwing everything everywhere today. This is a handful of pitted cherries, which are out of the freezer, so it's absolutely fine to use frozen ones. I like to keep a load of these on hand for recipes like this. I'm just going to add enough water to cover about the bottom third of them, and that'll just give us enough to make our cherry surprise for the bottom of this dish. To sweeten the cherries, we're going to add half of a tablespoon, half a dessert spoon of organic vegan sugar. I'll leave links to the stuff that I'm using below the video, so if you have trouble finding it locally, which I did for a little while. So we're going to be back in about 10 minutes. We're just going to keep reducing this down until the cherries have softened and have heated all the way through, and this juice will have created a lovely sauce. So I thought I would just check back in with you guys just to show you where we're at. So this has been on for about 5 or 6 minutes now, and if I hold it under the camera you can see this is just starting to turn into a syrup. We're going to leave it on for another couple of minutes. We just want it to thicken up ever so slightly more. If you've overdone the water, you can add a little bit more of the organic powdered sugar. That will to help to thicken it up. Alternatively, you could even add a little bit of corn flour to the mix just to thicken it up. So, how many of you knew that Bird's original custard was vegan? Not the instant one, but the Bird's original is actually vegan. So there you go. That's what we're going to be using to make our custard in just a few moments. So we've just taken the cherry reduction and cherries off. In here we've got just over 200ml, about 210ml of coconut milk, and in this pot we've got 1 dessert spoon of Bird's custard and 1 dessert spoon of organic powdered sugar. So, like I say, all the ingredients for everything you see are going to be in here. And this is a bit of an unorthodox way to do it, but I like my power tools in the kitchen, and this is a great way to do it. So we're literally just going to pop this in the blender. Give me 2 seconds and I'll show you how easy this is. In fact, you can actually get away with just putting it in a blender container and just giving it a good shake. We'll get the saucepan back on a sort of medium-high heat. We need to bring this to the boil. Yeah. See, I didn't actually use the blend function on my blender. I just gave it a really good shake in that container. So you could put it in a jar or something along those lines and it would do just as well. So we get the custard over a medium to high heat. And the trick with this is to bring it to the boil nice and quickly, but you'll see it when it starts to stick to the bottom. You need to stir vigorously to make sure that it doesn't get any lumps in it, and it's really stirring with your silicone spatula that stops the custard sticking to the bottom and it stops it lumping up. So just stay with me for this section of the video and I'll show you how quickly it goes from quite a runny mixture into a beautiful, smooth, incredibly tasty custard. Right, so I can just feel a film beginning to start on the bottom of the pan. So I'll start to be a little bit more vigorous, splashing custard everywhere as I go. Can you see it starting to thicken there? There she goes. So give it a really good stir at this stage. Make sure you get it off the heat before it gets too thick. Give it a really good stir and then just continue stirring off the heat or over the heat for another couple of seconds. Let's just turn the hob off. So we're just going to continue stirring and then we're going to be ready. My nuts are all lovely and glazed and ready to go. I'm sure you'll all be pleased to hear that. Lol. It's going to be lovely. Let's get this built nice and quickly before the custard starts to set. Okay, so let's pop some cherries in the bottom. Of this, making sure we've left enough. It looks like I could have actually done with a few more cherries in this one. I've actually been refining this recipe with a single dish. So yeah, you could add, what did we have? We had 4, 8, we had 12. Looks like you need 16 cherries for 2 dishes like this. So let's just give the custard a quick stir. A really good helping of custard in there. Then we're going to bring in, look how lovely the caramelised Canadian maple syrup cashew nuts have gone, and we're just gonna, I know we put some salt on already, but we're just gonna put a little bit of fresh salt on. Let's try to do this as much in shot. So can you see what I was saying about, let's get these out to one side. We'll put that up there. That's better, isn't it? Sorry guys, I'm trying to do it as best as I can so that you can see exactly what's going on. So there we go, there's the custard to one side. So we'll just take this, and can you see how beautifully the maple syrup has gone? It's got little crispy bits. Look at that. Those lovely little crispy bits of maple syrup. This is such a good recipe. Full details will be in the video link below. We're just going to pop one of the cherries on top there, and we're just going to pour over a little bit of the cherry juice. This custard's so easy to make, as you saw. It's all about getting the temperature right and really vigorously stirring to keep that right. I've actually got someone in the studio with me who's not tried this. Why don't you come and have yourself a dip into this delicious dish, Lacey Lou. Let me know what you think. Way in. Yeah, just get a little bit of what you want and give it a whirl.
Oh my god.
So it's a cacophony of flavours and textures. The maple, the beautiful toasted maple. You're gonna go for a mouthful. Go for it. How good is that?
I'm having that after.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm chef's perk, so I'm gonna plonk a couple back on, and please excuse me while I indulge myself.
Sorry if I nicked all the cashews.
Oh my god, that crispy, where the maple syrup goes crispy, and you get like a, can you hear that? You get like a crunchy maple surprise. This recipe is so beautiful. Please try it, and please look how beautiful it is when you're eating it as well. Up until now, I'd say my favourite pudding that I do is my mini pistachio cheesecakes. I'll leave a link for that up in the cards and below, but I think this actually might be my new favourite. I've worked pretty hard on this recipe to get it just right, and all I asked is that you guys give it a try. This is absolutely incredible. You can do the nuts on their own and treat them as a snack, or you can build this beautiful dessert. Thank you very much to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you, and thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps me to carry on doing what I'm doing. Bye for now.